Peter Lorimer, who passed away in 2021, remains one of the most iconic figures in Leeds United's history, yet his life after football revealed a complex and often controversial side that contrasted sharply with his celebrated playing career. Known as Hotshot and Thunderfoot, Lorimer's thunderous right foot and prolific goal-scoring ability made him a legend at Leeds, where he became the club's all-time leading scorer with 238 goals in 700 appearances. Born in Scotland, he debuted for Leeds at the remarkably young age of 15 years and 289 days, a record that still stands. His ferocious striking ability, described by teammates and opponents alike as both awe-inspiring and terrifying, was a hallmark of his game. Under the management of Don Revie during Leeds' golden era, Lorimer's explosive shots helped secure 2 First Division titles in 1969 and 1974, an FA Cup in 1972, a League Cup in 1968, and 2 Intercities Fairs Cups in 1968 and 1971. His teammate Swesen shot, which Don Revie called an uncoachable skill born of his unique follow-through, was legendary, with teammate Johnny Giles claiming only Bobby Charlton could rival Lorimer's ability to score from 40 yards. Despite the team's successes, their history was also marked by painful near misses, including 5 league runner-up finishes and 7 cup final losses, with the 1975 European Cup final against Bayern Munich standing out as a particularly bitter defeat. Lorimer's autobiography offers a glimpse into the complex dynamics of Revie's leadership, which shaped much of his career and later controversies. He described Revie as a maneuverer, manipulator, and planner like a mafia boss, a phrase that captures both admiration and unease. Revie fostered a tight-knit, almost familial atmosphere among the players, checking on their families and building a sense of unity that Lorimer described as fighting for each other. However, this loyalty came at a cost. Revie's methods, such as spying on players in pubs and compiling detailed dossiers on opponents, sometimes created tension. While Lorimer found these dossiers useful for European matches, he felt they occasionally instilled unnecessary caution against weaker domestic teams. This duality, Revie's ability to inspire fierce loyalty while employing controlling tactics, shaped Lorimer's perspective on leadership and loyalty, which would later define his post-playing career. The Mafia Boss label was not mere criticism, but an acknowledgement of Revie's strategic genius and ability to create an us-against-the-world mentality. This approach fueled Leeds' success but also contributed to their reputation as a dirty team, a perception Lorimer and his teammates fiercely contested. Years later, when the film The Damned United portrayed Revie's successor Brian Clough and his troubled tenure at Leeds, Lorimer and his former teammates were quick to defend their legacy. Clough had accused the squad of cheating to achieve their success, a claim Lorimer refuted, emphasizing that their loyalty to Revie was not a conspiracy against Clough, but a reflection of the deep bonds Revie had cultivated. This loyalty, however, did not extend to Clough, whose failure at Leeds stemmed from his inability to replicate Revie's unique leadership style. Lorimer's relationship with teammate Billy Bremner, another Leeds icon, further illustrates the complexities of his loyalty. On the pitch, Lorimer and Bremner were a formidable duo, their partnership epitomized by the controversial 1975 European Cup final against Bayern Munich, where Lorimer's goal was disallowed due to an offside call involving Bremner. This moment of shared injustice became a symbol of their unity, yet their relationship deteriorated in later years. Lorimer criticized Bremner for applying for the Leeds manager's job, believing it could fracture the dressing room by pitting Bremner against another teammate, Johnny Giles. This tension culminated when Bremner, as manager in 1985, took a ruthless approach to rebuilding the team, favoring robust players over the skillful squad favored by his predecessor, Eddie Gray. Bremner's decision to oust Lorimer, a senior player and club legend, was a stark move to assert his authority and move past the Revie era. Lorimer, stunned by the abrupt dismissal, saw it as a betrayal, marking a definitive split driven by differing visions for the club's future. The most polarizing chapter of Lorimer's post-playing career came during his time as a Leeds director and public figure, particularly during the club's financial crisis in the early 2000s. In January 2005, when Ken Bates, the controversial former Chelsea chairman, purchased Leeds for £10 million to save it from administration, Lorimer publicly supported him in his Yorkshire Evening Post columns. To Lorimer, Bates was a pragmatic saviour who could stabilise the club's dire finances and prevent relegation to the third tier. He blamed the previous chairman, Peter Ridsdale, for reckless spending and unsustainable wages, viewing Bates as a necessary, if imperfect, solution. However, the fans saw Bates differently, as a symbol of corporate greed and a threat to the club's identity. His history of contentious financial dealings and dismissive attitude toward protesters, whom he called morons, fueled their distrust. Lorimer's columns defending Bates became a lightning rod for fan anger, as supporters felt betrayed by their former hero aligning with a figure they viewed as antithetical to Leeds' values. This conflict highlighted a deeper divide between Lorimer's institutional loyalty and the fans' emotional attachment to the club's soul. Lorimer's perspective was rooted in practicality. Saving Leeds United as a functioning entity was his priority, even if it meant endorsing an unpopular figure like Bates. The fans, however, saw Bates' opaque financial dealings and corporate approach as a betrayal of the club's working-class, community-driven ethos. Lorimer's continued defense of Bates, even after the Football League imposed a 15-point deduction in 2007 for rule violations, deepened the rift. While he acknowledged the fans' right to be upset, his optimism about rebuilding under Bates' leadership only widened the gap. To the supporters, Lorimer had become a spokesman for a regime that clashed with their vision of Leeds United, transforming him from a hero who scored 238 goals into a figure of division. When Lorimer died in March 2021 at age 74, the response from the wider football world was surprisingly muted. A cinematic tribute noted the absence of a statue or widespread recognition for a player of his stature, a silence that reflected the controversies of his later years. His unwavering loyalty to Leeds United, which defined his playing career, also fueled the decisions that alienated many fans. His support for Bates, seen as a betrayal by some, overshadowed his on-field achievements in the eyes of those who valued the club's cultural identity over its survival. Lorimer's story is a poignant reminder that the qualities that make a legend, dedication, loyalty and conviction, can also lead to controversy when applied to divisive issues. Lorimer's legacy is a complex blend of brilliance and conflict. His 238 goals and record-breaking tenure at Leeds cemented his status as a footballing icon, yet his post-playing career revealed the challenges of navigating loyalty in a changing world. His institutional devotion to Leeds United, admirable to some, appeared misguided to others who prioritized the club's emotional and cultural resonance. His defense of Bates, driven by a desire to ensure the club's survival, clashed with the fans' vision of Leeds as a symbol of community and pride. This tension underscores the delicate balance between pragmatism and passion in football, where heroes can become polarizing figures when their loyalties diverge from the collective heart of the fan base. In reflecting on Lorimer's life, one must consider whether his loyalty to the institution of Leeds United was a strength or a flaw. To some, his steadfast commitment to the club's survival, even at the cost of personal popularity, was a noble sacrifice, a testament to his belief in the greater good of the institution. To others, his alignment with Bates represented a betrayal of the club's soul, prioritizing financial stability over its cultural identity. The truth likely lies in the gray area between these perspectives. Lorimer's actions were driven by a deep-seated love for Leeds United, forged in the Revie era's intense loyalty and camaraderie, but his pragmatic approach failed to resonate with a fan base that valued tradition and transparency above all. Lorimer's story challenges us to grapple with the nature of loyalty in football. Is it admirable to stand by an institution through controversy, even when it alienates the very community it represents? Or does true loyalty lie in preserving the emotional and cultural essence of a club, even at the risk of financial peril? Lorimer's life offers no easy answers, but it reveals the profound complexities of a man whose thunderous shots once united a fan base, only for his later decisions to divide it. His legacy, like his career, is a tapestry of triumph and turmoil, a reminder that even the greatest heroes can become figures of contention when their vision of loyalty diverges from that of the fans they once inspired.